Test the mic. We're gonna test the mic. We're gonna test the mic. I sound good? All right. It's funny. I don't hear myself, which is really weird. Oh, thanks. Here's a t-shirt for not heckling me. That'll be good. All right. We're good with volume? All right. So, all right. Looks like we're ready to go. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you very much. Appreciate everyone showing up today. I'm going to talk a little bit about certification. There is a lot to talk about. There's 25 minutes here, so I'm just really going to cover some of the basics. But seek me out afterwards. There's a really detailed session Wednesday. There's another one Thursday, if you're going to be here Thursday, to attend some of those items. My name is Gunderson. I am a distribution technical director. Basically, my role is to help some of our distribution partners with their certification needs and building up the program. I come from VMware. I was there 9 years, so I'm now a part of the overall Broadcom family. So with that, I'm really going to talk through some of the key basics here. And I got to click in here. Now I'll do that. All right. Well, with everything here, what we do with certification is basically the same type of thing. When we think about it from an overall Broadcom perspective, the great news is not a lot of change occurred in the certification realm. So if you had a VMware certification you followed before, there's an exact path forward. So there's a way to take your old VCPs and update them to the newest ones as they're released. So we still follow a VCP approach along those lines. So you can be a certified professional, you can be a proven professional, and I'll get into all those details. We also have pre-sales items for those that are more on the sales front. You would understand the sales positioning, or there's a technical presentation for the sales. So you can figure out how we're going to do assessments and how to position the products technically. So we cover it a bunch of different ways. The first thing is really, we still do the online testing. So if you want to take a test, you certify the same way you did before, you go into and you register the exam you want to take, you pick the exam, the date and time you want to do that, and we can do it either remote in some setups if you have a secured location at home, or you can go into a testing facility. All that is basically the same. And it's around all the Broadcom software, right? I'm going to talk specifically about the VMware family. But certification across Broadcom is true for mainframe software, semantic software, CA software, all the software in the stack will follow a very similar approach and path. And the whole big thing about this that VMware brought to the family is we now offer web-based credentials and certification. So if you went after a certain metrics badge and you want to follow a digital badge, Broadcom now is going to be applying that across the board. So if you have that digital badge from VMware before, you can continue that along the learning path. And the learning path is something I'm not going to get into a lot of details here, but we have a bunch of online material. You can go through certification classes. If you're a partner, we offer free partner training through the partners. And if you have a relationship with a reseller, you can also either get our open software or purchase a program through them to get some software along those lines. But basically, everything that we require on the exam, you have available to you for free. If you want a course, you can certainly take that. It walks through all the configuration. But if you want the white papers, the certification path for how everything works, it is fully documented on our Broadcom software site. So you can certainly get to all of that. There's a bunch of frequently asked questions. A lot of those have to do with exam prep. What do I do to get ready for the exam? Well, the first and foremost thing on the exam, you need to know the material. If you know the material, you'll be fine. There's not really any trick questions. We don't ask you to look under the page to find out what number, any of those items are. If you know how to use the product, from installation to delivery to even supporting it for your customers, you're absolutely going to be fine on the test. Now, if you've never done that, that's a little bit different story. If you only have book experience, and if you've only read the web pages and you've looked at some online videos, do that a couple times because you'll need some practical experience with selecting the different options. Some of the tests will talk about what is the best way to deploy a storage solution for this type of scenario with cost savings and scale in mind. Well, there's a bunch of ways to do that, but which is the best way? Well, you need a little bit of experience to do those items. But all the material we'll talk through, we'll certainly cover that online. And then, of course, again, this follows the entire Broadcom certification program. I keep hitting the wrong button, so I will do that. All right. So when we talk about the framework, the associated framework for these items, typically, this is what we cover from a partner model, right? When we think about it across the board, We cover everything from sales, making sure our sales engineers, both internal to Broadcom and with our resellers, know how the product is, how to position it, how to determine where you are and how to upgrade all those items. Those are all very valuable certifications. From a customer point of view, I think those are very valuable as well. If you need to take it and you need to sell it to your manager, or if you need to validate why you're going to go from vSphere to VMware Cloud Foundation, well, this is how it's positioned, right? And it talks about all the advantages of those items. Now, you probably don't need this if you're going after a formal certification, but then another layer we do this is for technical pre-sales. This covers the materials such as doing a proof of concept or doing a pilot. How do you make sure that you validate the test cases are very successful in your environment? Now, to me, as a customer, I used to go through this material very much so when I wanted to test a product against my business requirements. I would go through the technical pre-sales material. It told me what I needed to do to prove that the environment was successful for that, and it helped me validate all my test points. Now, those top two areas are really designed for partners, but from a customer, you can certainly look at that as well. The areas that are most important to most of our environment consumers here that are going after certification are around the implementation and the architecture phase. This is really about designing the product, delivering the product, supporting the product, right? So all those materials are certainly available for these items. Now, I haven't talked about the columns yet. So when we think about the columns are basically the earliest stages. So if you want to just get basic entry, it's just the core column. The second column is really where we start to do certification tracking. So the P is a proven professional. You'll notice that green icon, kind of a diamond shape, that is a proven practitioner icon for those items. We offer online tests for those items. And the more advanced items, the formal certification, if you will, VCP level is identified by the C there. And that is really the certified expert, all right? So I'll cover that in a couple more slides. So ultimately, at the very bottom of this, we have some partners that only provide for support for us as well. So how to troubleshoot, how to diagnose, how to read the logs, all those items. We also certify those team members to be able to do that as well. But really, it's implement and architect, and most people are looking to go forward with the certification program. Now, from an individual perspective, all of our testing is done by an individual. At a partner, you have to have so many individuals that are certified to do these items, but everything is done as an individual. So you have an individual certification, if you will. So this is just a selection of some of the certifications across the entire Broadcom selection program. But again, these are based upon your individual credentials. And you can have 20 different VMware certifications, 5 Broadcom semantic certifications, all across the board. So you can have multiple credentials for these items. But you don't become a super VCP or anything like that. You just have a different designation based upon what those are. And Broadcom inherited with the VMware acquisition the Credly certification badge. So I mentioned that very much. So you have a digital badge that can follow you if that's something that's important, or you track that within your business credentials. So when we think about the VMware family of products, there's 4 business units, if you will, or our products. Before, there used to be a lot more. You used to have an individual vSAN certification or an NSX design expert. Now, when we think about it of the overall family of products that we do these items. So there are still upgrade paths to get from vSAN into the formal VCF certification. But when we think about the VMware Cloud Foundation, the flagship product you've heard a lot about, or we'll continue to hear a lot about this week, we certify it at 3 levels, right? So there's the core massive foundation for the VCF, which is all products, all operations, and soup to nuts on all those items. But we also do it on VVF, the VMware vSphere Foundation, and also the vSphere Standard, the VESS platform as well. So if you're only interested in deploying VVS, absolutely, you can get a credential in that, or you can get one in all 3. So it's certainly up to you. But we also have, oh yes, a question? Is there a certification for AVS? Yeah, so VMware used to offer a certification for Azure VMware Solution. Currently, Microsoft is the one that offers that. Microsoft deploys and supports that product. So Microsoft offers certification. Yeah, there's currently a VMware Cloud on AWS certification for that and a multi-cloud certification. I believe those will be expiring this year. So if you don't have it already, you won't be able to take a badge moving forward next year. Yeah, great question. Oh, I'm supposed to give you a token. Thank you. And if there's a TS on the back of it, it's for a t-shirt. So please make sure you get your t-shirt at the end. Yes?
have to all the classical, you're going to have to take a bit into that, or is it just retake on it?
Are you going to have to take a course to get into it? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, so we've changed the requirement. You don't always have to take a course now. You can certainly take a course, but really you just have to pass the test. So before, if you've taken a VMware certification, before you can even register, you would identify that you've taken a course. We've removed that requirement now with the Broadcom side. So if you are strong and you've never taken a course, great news. Just go and take the test. You can do that all day long. So I get a token for you too. All right. Want me to throw it? All right. Good luck. Oh, all right. That's why I don't play baseball. Yes, good question. That's why I don't play baseball. I can't hear you. I'm sorry. You're a little too far. Which one?
VCDX.
VCDX, yes. So great question. So most of what I'm talking about is VCP sort of stations. We still offer VCIX and VCDX. Those are all very advanced. And I don't have a whole list of everything there. Those are still very strategic for us. We're doing special things for VCDXs and VCIXs. As we move forward for those particular programs, they're all certainly available for that right now. So I'll get to that in another slide or two. But yes.
Okay, like your Horizon and
yes.
ESXi.
Horizon.
Yes. Horizon 8.
Yeah.
ESXi 8.
Yeah. So earlier this year, we announced that we divided the company. And Horizon went with on this. They have their own certification program. I can't really talk about what's happening beyond this, but those certifications are still valid today. Yeah, and then we're talking about vSphere 7 and 8. All the stuff you'll certify now will be the next versions that we're doing this. So yeah, so VCF, if you were to take a VCF certification now, it'll be based upon vSphere 8 technology. The next version of the VCF certification around 9 is what will be certified when we release that product. All right, so yes. Yeah. Yeah, so the question had to do, he took an install, configure, manage course. Does he need to take the course now, or can you just sign up for it? You can sign up for all the current ones now without the requirement to take an additional course. So if it was for vSphere 7, great, or you can take the 8 tests. It would all work well. All right, so one last question, then I'm going to have to move a couple slides forward. Yeah, it's a specific certification around SD-WAN. I believe we're working on that credential right now. So yes, there is. On roadmap, at the very least, we might be releasing it very soon. But so along those lines, when we think about the software-defined edge, there are 2 product families that we test and certify on that. The first one is around the SD-WAN solution and that capability. So yes, there is tests in those particular items. The certification will be there, and I believe it's already released. I think all of these have already been released in the public catalog. So I'll show you the link to that public catalog here at the end. So basically, when you go through these items, if you progress along those columns I was talking about, you can take just a general knowledge and not do anything. The first level would be a proven professional for those items. And then after you go ahead and you take your final exam, the certified expert is where you will get the VCP credential for those items. All right, so as mentioned a little bit more, when we cover this from a partner perspective, we want to make sure that the partners can deliver the skills across the board. So they have to have a certain number of qualified people to be able to do all these tasks. And everything of this is passing an exam, doing a demo, all those types of things are part of the partner level credential. And they get certified separately along those items as well. And the other roles that we follow there are around the implement and architect role. So as you do these particular items, you can notice some of the different concept that we follow when we're doing a certification exam. So the proven implementation or architecture professional is all around that the ability to design a product and deliver that product. And it doesn't go as far as troubleshooting and diagnosing those items, but the course material covers that. The support role is the one that would cover those additional particular items along those items. All right, so that's basically the core material I wanted to cover. I just want to make sure I got to that section before I went a little bit further into not being able to finish the slides before they had questions. I'm going to go back to this slide here. So all these items that are listed here, there is a VCP level certification for that. Everything that's covered either in a P or a C. So the C is where you can go deeper and get the VCIX or VCDX. A lot more testing, more challenging tests around being a design professional or design expert for those particular items. But it's certainly everything that's available for the catalog that we have available now. So I thought I had a slide in here that had a link to the certification page, but it's broadcom.com/certifications, and you can see all that. So I thought I had a slide at the end that had that I do not. All right, so that's basically the content that I had. I'll take other questions from anyone else. What type of partner? Yeah, so the levels of partner training that we have are all available in the partner portal. So you can go into the partner portal, log in, you can see all those items. Depending on your partner level that you are, selected, premier, they're registered, there are different tiers of free software that we give you. Every partner has access to all the education material for how to sell the product. And then there's certain levels of that, depending on how you're going to certify, for the additional courseware that you would get. Most of it is on-demand webinar type training, but we also offer additional courseware if you are a partner that delivers training, for example. All right. Yes, let me take you here. Yeah.
I recently achieved my VCPP, and I noticed in the Broadcom certification portal there was like a link to like a certified store.
Right.
But it was failing.
Yeah.
Known or?
Yes, it is known. It's still TBD on the store what we're going to do with that. Yeah. So great question there. Yes.
So I've gone from being a partner to being just a
person. Yes. Yes.
If you get a VCG, a regular implement, customer, and then you flip it to tails, that you have to retake that test.
No, once you have the cert, as long as it's not expired, you're good.
Well, the thing is, once you go back to the partner portal, you will be considered.
Your ID might have to be relinked to the current partner for that partner to get credit, but you as an individual will always have that certification. That's right. Yeah, you don't have to retake the test if you join a different partner.
Not different partner, I'm talking
to a customer.
Customer to partner, or partner to customer.
Yeah.
Because the acronym.
The ID, the credential is still yours. Yeah, so that's not a problem. If the partner needs two of those resources to become a proven professional, yeah, the partner still needs that. If you leave, that partner is down one, but you still have the credential. Yes. Okay.
Is that something equivalent now in Broadcom?
What was the first part?
Enterprise Learning Subscription.
Yeah, Enterprise Learning is still a platform that we use. Absolutely right. So we have a Enterprise Learning platform. It contains all of our web-based content for all those trainings. It's all available. So depending on when we release it, like Hands-on Labs, some of the change in content will modify. But our learning platform is still how we do that. So internally, what we have our sales and our technical teams go through the same type of training, and then we release it. So it's the same training our internal people get. All right. All right, here you go. Thank you. I think I owe you one too. All right, any other questions? Yes. Friendly face in the room. All right. Oh. Yes. Yeah, so the question around some of our partners have different levels of certified sales professional, or technical sales professional. We certainly offer that. We have resources that will come on site and help the partner deliver that and then scale that to their businesses as well. So normally we have a partner that gives the software training, right? So we have to train the partner sometimes, right? Just like we would an individual. Great question. Thank you. Oh, nice assist. All right, 2 more shirts left. All right. Oh, yes.
So I saw on one of the slides there where the certified expert, the third party. Is that like a third party?
So sometimes a third party will give the training for us. Yeah, so the exams are always going to be proctored in third party, right? For when you have to certify that. You're not going to come to Curtis's house and buy me a 6-pack or anything to let me pass the test, right? We have a certified partner that does all that. But the training can be from a third partner. We have web-based training to help out, but sometimes we'll hire a partner to do that work. Absolutely, a distribution partner might help. What was that?
Certification validity. Cert validity.
The validated design.
No, cert validity is still 2 years. Or
Oh, how long are they valid? Yeah, so I believe all certifications are 2 years now. We went to an annual program when we had a version in that, but I believe they're all 2 years across the board. The cost, yeah, I don't think the cost changed. I think the test is $175 for taking the test. Yeah, the training courses would vary based upon the age and the number of days of the training course. Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, the VCAP is pretty simple. All right, anything else? Yes. Okay.
So according to that, if I want to move up to architect 3, I need to do technical specialist exam as well?
There's multiple paths to that. Yeah, so to upgrade from a DCV to the VCF 5, there would be a couple tests you would have to take along those lines. Yes. Yes, exactly. And when you look at the VCF exam, you'll have an operator, an administrator, an install, configure, manage, all of those basic tests that you would see for those items. So you'd have a data center virtualization equivalent for VCF. All right.
Thank you again.
All right. Thank you. All right. Any other questions? If not, that's all I had. All right. So we'll just wrap it up with my thank you side. Thank you very much.